Hello and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in the Rocket Pool, community and Ethereum. My name is Wack. Today is August 15th and today's episode is going to cover news of Rocket Lend and them doing their testing stuff. We're going to be talking about the GMC's town hall and giving you some updates from what happened on that. We're also going to be talking about Ethereum news, so we're going to cover Coinbase launching a wrapped Bitcoin product on Ethereum, and we're going to be talking about the different kinds of FUD that are out there right now for Ethereum and what it all means. So let's get started.
10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
So before we begin with the main news, I just want to take a minute to reflect on the fact that today is 2 years of Rocket Fuel. August 15th is the first episode came out 2 years ago in 2022. So in that time, I've made 446 episodes of the main show and around 25 episodes of Launchpad and other things, and around 60 episodes actually of the weekly orbit as well. So yeah, at that time I had no idea that I would be doing this 2 years later and that I would be more than 500 episodes in, but here we are. It's been a pretty amazing 2 years of my life, and I feel like my life's changed completely from the time before I started this. So yeah, it's really amazing. So yeah, 2 years of Rocket Fuel, everyone. Like, I never thought I'd make it, but here I am. So here's for another 2 years coming up. Okay, so let's get to the actual news. And with the actual news, we're going to start with this chat from Ramana. And once again, it's a call out for people to test Rocket Lend. So please reach out to Ramana, reply in this thread if you have any ideas about Rocket Lend, if there's any questions you have that you want answered. But this is Epinef, non-fungible Yokum mostly, who are kind of sharing some ideas and trying to get word out about this. So if you are at all interested in helping with Rocket Lend, please get in touch as soon as possible before they go for a code freeze and they get everything off to audit. So, we want the audit to be as successful as possible. That means testing all the different scenarios beforehand. So if you are interested in that, I know I've talked about Rocket Lend a whole bunch of times on Rocket Fuel recently, but definitely go and help out here because we need it. Okay, yesterday was another GMC town hall meeting. Turnout was actually decent. We had the GMC members there. We also had about 5 or 6 people from the community who stopped by and were listening. Special shout out goes to Scuzzle for getting involved in some of the discussion and making contributions to the discussion. So that was really cool. The main things that we talked about yesterday was the tokenomics grant update. So the first tokenomics retroactive grant payment went out, and that was for $125,000. So people, a few people got like $10,000 plus dollars. A whole lot of people got more than $1,000. So if you are interested in helping out, there's still, future grant money to be paid towards this. So definitely get involved and make your contributions known. In here, Shifrin was saying that an update was provided on the tokenomics grant, specifically milestone A, with the process expected to begin soon. The GMC had no objections to setting the tier 5 requirement as sending one message to a relevant thread in Discord. So what's happening here is there's going to be 5 tiers of rewards for the non-core contributors, and there's a pot, I think, of $25,000, maybe more than that, for those people who are not core contributors. And even if you put one message in the key threads, you'll get a minimum $100 basically, which is really wonderful to see. And then other people will get more. Obviously, there's the full pot is $100,000. I think it's $75,000 to the core contributors, and then $25,000 to other people who've helped out. So this is really cool. With the budgeting process, The GMC is currently undergoing internal discussions about setting budget targets for different reward types. So, different areas of work. So for research, for development work, for marketing, for other things like that, whether we should or should not set budgets for those amounts. So that's a discussion that's ongoing within the GMC. On top of that, we had a discussion about team funding. So this is where Scuzzle inquired about the GMC's input on development team funding, and Schifrin will monitor the discussion and involve the GMC as it progresses. And then with marketing plans, says here, Schifrin said marketing plans were discussed, with the GMC aiming to increase marketing efforts as Saturn approaches. Improved communication between the team and the GMC is needed to avoid overlap in contacting the same marketing vendors. The team plans to run a campaign with Bankless, which is very cool to see. And the GMC has had success with flat money and is open to future proposals from other vendors as well. And then there was a lot of discussion about like Saturn and kind of pushing Saturn along. And here it says the discussion included accelerating Saturn's development and the possibility of the PDAO hiring another developer. The GMC generally supports replicating the patches arrangement and intends to proactively replicate that process as Saturn development advances. So here I think the team will be leaning on the GMC a little bit about getting testing done for Saturn, but maybe if there's other areas that the GMC can help as well, and the PDAO in general, then I think that's something that we will be pursuing. So that was actually a really nice update from the GMC. I feel like the GMC has been firing on all cylinders recently in the work that we've been doing. And it seems like there's fewer and fewer complaints every month about the kind of money that the GMC is giving out. And yeah, I think this tokenomics work that we're paying out, is $300,000 for this work, going to, 15, 20, maybe 30 people, parts of it, but the majority of it will end up, it's kind of like the power law with Val and Samus getting most of it because they did most of the work, but others, as their work has increased, they'll be getting more money as well. So this has been really wonderful, and I feel like the GMC is doing really good stuff. There's some, I know that it's not, we didn't mention it here, but there's some internal discussions going on with the GMC about when the next GMC election will be, and that's shaping up to take place in the next month or two. So if you are interested in joining the GMC, definitely reach out to Schifrin, who's the GMC admin, reach out to me, reach out to other GMC members if you have any questions at all about what being on the GMC is like, and how it all works and everything. And we have to remember as well that the GMC members now will be getting a stipend every month, which is around $300. It's not much, but it's just a way of saying thank you from the PDAO to the GMC. So that's really cool. Okay, next we've got news from Nethermind, and this is a new update they have to their execution client. So it says there's release notes with the major highlights is that they have an ETH simulate now. So ETH simulate is a new JSON RPC method that expands on ETH call ideas, allowing simulation mocking of multiple blocks with multiple transactions. It also allows users to define block variables, replace code and branches of accounts, override EC recover, precompile, and event logs and ETH transfer logs. So they've got other optimizers and fixes, and then there's some more information as well. So if you're interested in updating to Nethermind's 1.28.0, definitely go and check that out, because I think there's you want to be up to date with the latest versions. Okay, next we're going to move on to some Ethereum news now, and the biggest Ethereum news from these last couple of days is Coinbase saying cbBTC. So that's Coinbase BTC, and the idea here, and then they reply by saying coming soon. So the idea here, of course, is that Coinbase will wrap BTC and make it into an ERC20 token and put it onto Base and Ethereum. So this is actually really cool because with BTC, if you hold it, there's nothing you can do with it. There's no native DeFi. There's no, on-chain activities that you can do with your BTC. The only things you can do is off-chain, and we saw a whole bunch of those blow up in the previous bear cycle, or that caused potentially the bear cycle as well, with like Voyager, Celsius, I think BlockFi that was their name, BlockFi. And then there was a bunch of others as well that kind of blew up with bad lending. So that's inherently risky, right? And what you can do with cbETH instead is, or with other wrapped Bitcoin tokens on Ethereum, is you can wrap the token, you can wrap your BTC and bring it over to Ethereum, and then you can take it to Aave and take it to other protocols, and you can actually do stuff with it and earn yield in a decentralized way. So this actually timing was really interesting that they mentioned this cbETH thing. It happened, well, Jesse Pollock here says, to say out loud, I love Bitcoin. I'm so grateful for its role kickstarting crypto, and we're going to build a massive Bitcoin community on Base. So Bitcoin economy on Base. So what's really interesting is that they're bringing Bitcoin to Ethereum now, because people want to do stuff with it and they can't on Bitcoin itself. Here, Luke Youngblood had an interesting take. He says, this week may go down in history for Bitcoin derivatives. So it's BitGo, the market leading custodians of wrapped Bitcoin, announces custody will move from the US to Hong Kong, and minting rights will be shared with Justin Sun from Tron. And then Coinbase at the same time basically announced cbBTC. So Luke Youngblood asks, who would you trust to custody your Bitcoin? Coinbase or Justin Sun, and says this may be a turning point with BitGo, and they've got $9.3 billion of wrapped Bitcoin, and now that is going to probably be unwound, and probably people will be moving away from from wrapped Bitcoin to cbBTC. But this is what people are describing as a huge ball fumbling. And then you started seeing it here, I think Aave was saying that they're going to go through the governance proposal to remove wrapped Bitcoin. 0x not going to make it here as well, says Maker is planning to offboard wrapped Bitcoin due to the change in custody from BitGo. Is BitGo going to fumble its insane moat in wrapped BTC? So there's other BTC derivatives as well, like True BTC, TBTC, that is, and I think they're trying to be more decentralized. The fact is that having having wrapped tokens like these across chains is really risky, and those bridges are a huge honeypot. And we've seen bridges get hacked before, right? Like the wormhole hack and others. With this, that's why people tend to go towards centralized options, because I think they kind of trust their custody more. Well, nearly $10 billion worth of Bitcoin was custodied with wrapped Bitcoin, and I think what's going to happen with that now is that will be mostly unwound, and then with cbBTC launching the way it is, that is going to I think take most of that market share, because I think TBTC probably isn't up to scratch just yet. And then here there's Damathi had this meme which I thought was really good, and this was like Bitcoiners pleading, like Predator replying, literally everybody, can you add native Bitcoin payments to Coinbase Commerce? But the meme is, babe, please build on Bitcoin. And then it's like the Chad Coinbase saying, the best I can do is turn Bitcoin holders into Ethereum users. So I think this was one of those situations where the idea is there, right? Like that Bitcoin will move to Ethereum. Like if people want to use Bitcoin, the Ethereum, layer 2s and side chains, or what they're kind of promoting, just aren't up to the level they need to be. And they don't provide the security that people want. They don't have the functionality, liquidity that people want. The only thing that is there right now on Runes is like these kind of NFTs and BRC20s that don't work very well. Maybe they'll start working better in the future, but Bitcoin, the fundamental technology, doesn't have the expressivity of code to be able to put roll-ups on there and all that kind of stuff. So if you want to do stuff with your Bitcoin, the place to do that is Ethereum. And Coinbase, it looks like they are going all in on Ethereum. And Base is, basically printing millions of dollars for them every day, or like very, very frequently. And it makes sense for them to get as many of their, 100 million users or whatever it is onto Base, onto Ethereum. And I think that is going to be huge in the in the coming bull market, because they've got this locked in audience, and they will tell them, hey, if you want to go on chain, here, use our wallet, the Coinbase wallet, and it's really cool, it's really easy for you to use. And hey, if you want to go on chain, why don't you go to Base? We'll give you free withdrawals to Base. Transactions, yesterday there was a story going around that they're going to give their Coinbase One users $10 a month on a Base for them to use for fees, etc. So this is the kind of thing that I think we're going to be seeing more and more from Coinbase, going all in on Base and really pushing that to greater and greater extents. So Bitcoiners, if you want to see, if you want to do stuff with your Bitcoin, the place to do it is on Ethereum. Okay, speaking of Coinbase going big on Ethereum, it looks like a whole bunch of other institutions are ready to do this as well. Like in yesterday's episode, I shared news of BlackRock potentially starting a layer 2, or maybe that's something coming in their future. Well, here Nate shares news of Fidelity and the head of Fidelity Digital Asset Management Division saying that the firm is evaluating stable coins and tokenized treasury products, and they're also researching on-chain credit and structured products. So he says that this space is moving fast. Now, we said on Rocket Fuel yesterday that Franklin Templeton are moving on to Arbitrum. BlackRock have Biddle Fund on Ethereum. You're getting these big firms and big asset managers now coming on chain, coming on Ethereum, and with Fidelity here, it would just make sense for them to come onto Ethereum as well. There's not any word officially of what chain they're going to be going onto, but it most likely will be Ethereum, right? Because if you're following what's gone before. So Nate here says, what I love about the tokenization adds no value crowd is they haven't thought to consider why BlackRock, Franklin, Fidelity, etc. are involved in or looking to get involved. We're talking about the world's largest asset managers. Fidelity has a digital asset management division. So this is, like, if you read the quote as well, they're looking to tokenize treasuries and other products, and this is the way they're going to go forwards. So maybe I think in the next year leading up to the bull market, as prices go up, narratives start developing really strongly. And these guys are all getting into positions now where they'll be able to capture some of the attention of those narratives for their own users, for their own participants. And I think that we're going to be seeing a whole lot more of these companies and firms, not just American ones, but European ones, Asian ones, all coming online. And I think the majority of them will be picking Ethereum or Ethereum's layer 2s, and that is going to be wonderful. Okay, speaking about layer 2s, recently, like in the last few weeks and months even, since the Denkun upgrade, really, there's been a line of FUD that's been going around, is that the L2s don't pay anything in fees, they're value extractive for Ethereum. What's happened is the gas prices on Ethereum layer 1 have gone down. The 7-day average is like 3 GUI right now, so there's no burn happening, and Ethereum is inflationary, blah blah blah, and it's all because of L2s not paying enough. So DC Investor here had a tweet. He says, a quote of this like hypothetical person saying L2s are getting too much value for too cheap from Ethereum layer 1, and then another person saying L2s don't get any value from Ethereum layer 1 and will eventually become their own L1s. So DC Investor says, choose one criticism. It's hard to level both at the same time with a straight face. And Dom replied by saying, it's yet another Schrodinger's ETH FUD. And I think this is a really interesting point, because many times in Ethereum's history, we've seen the same FUD coming from different angles, or basically like the same point will be argued from both sides and be shown to be a negative about Ethereum. And here we've got another example as well, which is people saying, don't buy ETH because the gas is too high, and now people saying don't buy ETH because the gas is too low. So it's the same FUD, and it's the same ideas, and basically I think the motivation of the people is to FUD Ethereum, and they'll use whatever they can and be dishonest in whatever the ways they can be, and they will try to FUD Ethereum, and even though they'll be arguing the same FUD from two different sides and opposite sides. So this is something I think that we should all be kind of like steel ourselves towards, and as long as we understand why we're in Ethereum and what the values of Ethereum are that we are a part of, and why we got into this space in the first place, I think the better thing to do do is just look at these historical instances of this FUD and how the goalposts always change with people who FUD, right? And what we need to do is like keep looking at the big picture, keep looking at the fact that Ethereum is growing, developing stronger, faster than other chains, and everything is, I think, going to catch up with that soon. Sadly, when people focus too much on the price, they miss out on a lot of the other things that's happening. And here Matt says, somehow we are worried about Ethereum temporarily not printing money anymore after enabling layer 2s with sub-cent fees. He says, meanwhile, layer 2s are just starting to get traction, not running anywhere close to capacity and still growing like crazy. And he says, we're not even in a bull market yet. So I think this is the idea, right, is that once we get more people coming online, more retail users coming on chain, they'll be drawn to Ethereum with layer 2s. Arbitrum has got amazing liquidity. Base has got such an exciting ecosystem that they're building with others as well, like ZK Sync and Stark and a whole lot of others. There's places where they can go now and get cheap transactions and fast settlement times, and of course they'll get all of that built on the security of Ethereum. And if they want bigger amounts of money that they're playing with, then Ethereum layer 1 will still be the best place in all of crypto to do that, because we've got the most DeFi, we've got the most liquidity, we've got all those things that you want, and the best apps as well, of course. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on. Okay, we're going to finish today's episode with some more news out of Jump Trading. So those of you who know, have been following along, a couple of weeks ago, Jump Trading actually dumped a whole lot of their ETH. And that was one of the reasons why the ETH price went down faster than other tokens during the mini TradFi and macro crisis that we had. Well, it looks like Jump aren't done with all their crypto yet and done with all their ETH yet, and they've begun transferring and potentially selling more of their ETH, and so they've taken out money from Lido and they've started transferring that, and currently they hold 21,000 wrapped ST ETH and 5,000 ETH, so it looks like that will be sold pretty quickly as well, and I think this is going to be the end of it. So I think that'll be the end of their crypto, or well, in the ETH crypto anyway. And DC investor here had a take on this. He said, Jump Trading disorderly selling everything below $3,000 is going to age poorly. Good riddance to the most attractive actor in the space, to be quite honest. So this is what they're doing, and they are going to it looks like there's a reason for their selling. I think it's probably because they are unwinding some leverage potentially, or maybe they're getting capital ready to pay some kind of fine or settlement with the governmental agencies that are after them. But what's really interesting, I'm going to keep an eye out for, is like, what are they doing with other ecosystems? I've not really caught up on too much news of that. Like Jump Trading was supposed to be developing a client for Solana called Fire Dancer. Like, I don't know if the development on that is still going ahead or not. I don't know if they are selling other tokens for other ecosystems as well, but they are getting out of ETH, and that is fine. Once we get this past, once we get over this, then I think once we absorb all this selling, then we can start moving on. The ETF flows are looking good, they're looking positive, they're looking strong, and we just need to stay focused on the longer term picture for Ethereum, keep getting everything ready, get apps online for when attention comes back to Ethereum, and then people can come and thrive online with Ethereum. So on that note, I'm going to end today's second anniversary episode of Rocket Fuel. Thank you to all of those of you who have been watching from the beginning. Looking back at that first video is so cringe though. Like, I feel like I've come a really long way in that time, but I think it was an earnest start, and I think Rocket Fuel has gotten much better in the last couple of years, and now we're moving on to even bigger and better things, getting ready for this bull market that's coming up. Hopefully it's going to be a fun one for all of us. But I hope you all have a great day and enjoy celebrating Rocket Fuel's birthday for those of you who celebrate, and otherwise I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.